Okay, back with another edition of this or that with add-on. Again, rules are simple add-on. You've got two choices, all football related, and you've got to pick one of those choices. So let's not waste time. Let's get straight into it. The first choice we've got is prime Zinedine Zidane or prime Kaka. Two great footballers, magical footballers, big game players. Who are you going for? You can pick one to play in your team. Who are you going to go for?
Zidane retired in 2006. Kaka only retired recently. I'm going to say Kaka because I've seen, as much as I respect Zidane and whatnot, I saw more of Kaka as I was growing up than I saw more of Zidane. Zidane, obviously 98 World Cup and whatnot. I was in that era of Kaka.
Yeah.
Just I would go for it.
Yeah. What do you like about...
Not to downplay Zidane or anything.
Yeah. What did you like about Kaka's game? Like, what was the thing that you loved about him?
Everything. Like the way he moves, the way he glides, the way he can see an eye for the pass, the way he can also finish as well. Just like I think he was the last player to win a Ballon d'Or before Messi and Ronaldo.
The two machines came along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I agree with you. Zidane, I love watching. I mean, grew up in the early 2000s. I used to watch him at Real Madrid, the Champions League nights. Everyone remembers that.
That as well. I saw more of.
Yeah, Bayer Leverkusen. But I feel like with Kaka, I mean, I'm biased because I love Kaka. I love watching him. I love watching him play. I love the way he glided on the pitch. And I always felt like Kaka always turned up in the big games. Like, there was not a big game in a champion. I didn't watch much Serie A back then, but I always looked at it. Who turns up on the big Champions League nights? Yeah. And he always did. Playing that team, that AC Milan team, he was immense. I mean, at his very best, I didn't see anyone like that. Like, he just made football look so easy to play.
Exactly.
As much as Zidane has his accolades, he won the World Cup in '98, as you mentioned, he won the Champions League. He was Euros. He was a magical footballer, legendary footballer. I just feel like when I watch football, that late 2000s Kaka was something which I just
mid to late. Oof.
Yeah, mid to late 2000s Kaka in that Milan team in the Champions League nights, where it's just surreal, to be honest. So I'm going to go towards Kaka on this occasion. Okay, next up, you can play one team. We've got the Arsenal Invincible team in 2003 or 4 against the Barcelona treble team in 2009. You're playing only one side. I know, obviously, an Arsenal fan, you might be biased, but again, you've got the treble winning team of Barcelona, Henry, Eto'o, Messi, Xavi Busquets, Iniesta.
They won the treble as well?
Yeah, in 2009.
They won the treble in 2011, not in 2009.
They won in 2009 when Pep first took over. They won the treble.
I thought they won it in 2011, not in 2009.
I know. I don't know. Did they win it? I don't think they won it in 2011, but they did win it in 2009 with Eto'o up front.
I remember the Champions League. Champions League. Yeah.
So if you're playing one team, the Invincibles or that magical 2019, this is the tough one. I mean, they're both great footballing sides.
Well, you put me on the spot.
That's the point.
I know, but
that is the point. Do you know what you're thinking? I'll give my opinion. I think the triple winning team in 2009 was a magical team, and that was the start of a revolution, in my opinion. Yes. I think those 3-4 seasons that he had at Barcelona, I think it just changed football in general. And the plays they had in that team, what they achieved. Usually Pep makes his teams as a unit and they perform well together. But that team had so many great individual players. But if you're an Invincible, to go a whole season unbeaten, and then to go a whole season unbeaten, that is really in the league. As much as troubles have been achieved, past and present, to go unbeaten in a whole footballing season in the Premier League, which is so hard to do.
And to say you was part of it. That's why it's like, can I pass?
You can't pass, no. You're trying to get out of it. What are you doing? That's not the point in the game. You've got to pick one. Come on. No, listen, I'll pick one. I think Invincible is an amazing achievement. I think being invincible is in the English.
The treble has lost its. I don't want to say it's lost its value, but it's like
it's not necessarily at all. Not at all. I would disagree immensely because if it's lost its value, it will be done.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say lost its value, but it's in a way of like other teams like globally have done it, but an Invincible, like a whole. There's only very select few. Like the only team I can think of have done it in the modern era are Juventus in a top 5 league. I want to be clear. I don't want. I'm going to think it's Juventus and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Have
So again,
done it.
that's the rarity. Triples have been
And
achieved,
that's
but
what
again,
it's rare.
triples are not common.
But it's happened a lot, quite a few in recent times. I think Bayern have done it. City have now done it. You lot have done it. Barca have done it.
So you're going for? You're picking one team to play in Barcelona or the Arsenal team. Which achievement are you going to be part of? I think for me, it's got to be Invincible. I think that was, as much as they probably you'd argue and say the football wasn't always great, but to go through 38 game season unbeaten, that is some achievement. Triple has been achieved. It's rare, but it has been achieved.
I'm going to lean towards. It's very tight. It's tighter than I think it is, but I will go Invincible just because
I agree.
It's a team that says I was part of that team. I actually made an impact. If I was a defender, hypothetically, I'd say I was part of the defense that didn't lose a single game all season, or my goals were the reason why we won games. As I think.
Yeah.
Yes, you could
as you said, or didn't. Again, goalkeepers, or games that you could have lost, but didn't.
Yeah.
So I agree. It's a tough one, but I feel like being invincible is so rare, and just gives you a huge. Again, triples are fantastic, and they have been achieved past and present. But I feel like going invincible is just a different level altogether. So
how did you feel when City did it?
Quickly, they deserved it because they're a great football team.
Fair enough.
Any team who was in trouble, you deserve it. I can't. Play much on that front. Okay, next up, you can pick one player in your team. We've got both at their prime. We've got Samuel Eto'o against Didier Drogba, two great African strikers, historically played in different leagues around the world.
Eto'o.
What's your reasons? What's your reasons why? Why does he take it?
He was phenomenal. Yes, Drogba had the moments, but Eto'o was just consistent. He could play across the front line. There was one game when he was at Inter when Mourinho said, "Right, we're down to 10 men. You're playing on the wing." He's like, "I'm playing on the wing. All right, cool. I'll die for you." And he also turned up as well, like Drogba. I mean, Drogba turned up, but Eto'o also turned up in the big games. He's got how many Champions Leagues? He's got numerous league titles. He scores goals for fun, bagsman, but also knew when to get behind the line as well. Can play anywhere across the front line. As much as I like Drogba, and he annoyed me when he played against my team, Eto'o for me was just
different class, isn't he? Yeah.
In his prime.
His prime, yeah, I agree. It's so tough because these two players were so good, but one of them was so good outside of English football, and the other one was so good in English football. And I agree that they were both. I agree. I think Drogba had different attributes that Eto'o didn't have. Drogba was strong, he was physical, and I feel like Drogba could win games even if he wasn't at his very best. And I feel like Eto'o played in very good footballing teams, like the Barcelona team. He went to Inter Milan as well. And I feel like probably technically he was a bit better than Drogba. Yeah. But I agree, both of them were big game players. And I feel like Drogba as well. Again, he scored in every final he's played in, I believe. If that's
something like that, yeah.
I'm saying. So he was a big game player as well. Big moments. He turned up in the Champions League final in 2012. One of them got into extra time and scored a random penalty. So they're very similar, but it's so hard to choose because they were both integral to their teams, but they had different attributes, and that's why they differed. I think if I'm going, I don't know, it's tough. Eto'o was amazing, but I have to go with Drogba. I just feel like what he did in this league, the trophies he won consistently, big game player. Again, not at his best, but still turns up. It's tough. Eto'o was immense. Again, that Barcelona side, again, when they're trouble with Inter Milan in 2010, he was key part of that team.
Back-to-back as well. He won a trouble in back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I just feel, I don't know, I just can't look past Drogba. I just can't look past him. But again, Eto'o played in very good footballing teams, and probably some would argue that 2012 Champions League when Drogba wasn't playing the best Chelsea team, they still got through it and they still won it. That's what probably for me just about.
We can agree to disagree.
Eyes with Drogba, to be fair. It's a tough one. Okay, next up was the last one. We have both in their prime, both at the very best. You've got prime Robin van Persie and prime Dennis Bergkamp. Bergkamp. That was a very quick answer.
Bergkamp.
I know Robin had a lot of injuries, but what gives it to Bergkamp? I know Bergkamp, that's probably a stupid question, but everyone knows. But what did you like in Bergkamp's game that Robin van Persie didn't have?
The way he could just put everyone at ease around him. Like the moment the ball, like he can control the ball, like just stop dead. He can just see things like no other. Not only he could finish, but it's just like he brings all the play to, like him and Henri when they were together, like had some. It was like telepathic in a way. Like he could do stuff that no one else could on a pitch. I'm not saying Van Persie can't, because Van Persie, his left foot was like absolutely, the amount of volleys he could use with that left foot was unbelievable. But the way Bernard Bergkamp like just played football with ease was just like another level, regardless of the pressure around. It was just like another level, and he just had that finesse. He just played with, as if just played with coolness and calmness, while also knowing where everyone was around him as well, and just playing at his pace.
I agree. I think that, again, both at their very best.
He can finish as well. I mean,
many moments. I think to keep it simple, he could do everything. Thanks, Bergkamp. He could link up, he could score goals, he could drop it deep. He look at the number 10 position in English football. He was one of the key components that kind of changed that, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Arsene Wenger coming. I guess Arsene Wenger coming to Arsenal and Dennis Bergkamp being there was a perfect fit at the perfect time for not just Arsenal, but for English football. And you look at the stuff that he did on the football pitch. He made football, as you said, look so easy to play. Flair, his silk, finesse. He had all of it in his locker.
I mean, there was one. I think there was something that came up years. If I saw like a video some time ago or something, where it was like he had number 1, 2, and 3 of goal of the month.
Exactly, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Like just having at least 1 is good enough, man. The guy has 1, 2, and 3.
Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, and that's what he brought to the game.
And he has an iconic moment as well with the goal against Newcastle.
Yeah, I watched that back and I'm thinking, how did the guy manage to do that?
And the World, and obviously there's the one at the one against at the World Cup as well.
Was that against Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Great goal. So again, he's involved in many iconic moments in football history. So, but I've got to say as well, Robin van Persie at his very best. I can't overlook the 11-12 season at Arsenal, and then the 12-13 season at Man United. If you're looking at one player to spearhead a team, I know Arsenal didn't win anything in that season, but his impact was so great. And again, the 12-13 season at Man United, for him to come into a football team and to change that team's fortunes around, and just to be the main guy, the talisman in that team, the goals he scored against Aston Villa, the hat-trick, just immense. Big games, he scored in all the big games that season. Just a great player at his very, very best. But I've got to agree with you. I've got to side with Dennis Bergkamp. I think he just was revolutionary in English football. Did a lot of things that still talks about to this very, very day. And that just shows you what a great player.
And the number 10 has a bit of a heavy weight at the club as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, Arsenal fan, you guys have been spoiled over the years. Prefer all these great players.
We gave number 10 to someone who should never got a number 10 after Bergkamp. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah.
Who's that player, just for the record?
Yeah, that's the centre back.
Yeah, that was a very strange decision, to be fair. But I guess everyone knows that the great number 10 and the only number 10 that really mattered was great Dennis Bergkamp at Arsenal Football Club. But listen, I've enjoyed that. I mean, I know there's some tough, tasty ones in there for you. That's the point of the game. We put you on the spot, and that's the point. Made you sweat a little bit, but that's what we'd like to see. But listen, guys, I mean, again, subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment as well. Who do you think is better, Bergkamp or Van Persie? Would you play in the Invincibles team or the Barcelona team of 2009? Let us know in the comments. Get involved. But nice. Don't worry, you can relax now. Listen, Adam, it's been good to talk to you today, man. Really.
Likewise. No,
take care, guys. Take care.
Music.